All right. We have a special guest, Anna, and she came to the Mexico retreat. We actually first met her in Bali when she came to the retreat years ago. So thank you so much for coming in, Anna.
Hi, ladies. I'm happy to be on this podcast this morning. I've never been on a podcast, so
yeah. That's actually shocking.
I know. You've been on the cover of magazines.
Yeah, nobody's ever. I mean, I've been on TV and radio shows, but I've never done a podcast. So thanks for being my first.
So tell us a little bit more about you.
I'm a tattooer. I am known well in my profession. I own tattoo shops, but now I'm moving to a different phase of my life. And that means that Hawaii will just be my home base while I find the rest of the world. And I really love going on the retreats because my life is consumed with people I work with. I have to keep a lot of shit private, and I don't get an opportunity to just be really raw and open. And that's one of the things I love about the retreats, because first of all the women that go are boss ass bitches, like they're all strong women in their own right. I love the age grouping that usually comes. I love that people do so many different things, yet they have this commonality somehow that everybody can speak to each other on this level.
A little bit about Bali that's coming up in 2 months for anyone that is.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I know.
What is Bali like for you?
Bali for me is just straight magic, period. Magic. Yeah. So when I went the very first time, I had never been on an astrology retreat. I didn't know anything about anything. For me, Bali was foundational. It really helped me kind of understand like a baseline concept of how everything works in relation to one another. The Sagittarius, I'm fortunate that I get to travel around the world doing my job. And so I've been a lot of places. And one of the things that I love is going to different activities. Like I love going to different temples. I love participating in ceremonies. So many different things that we got to do. Yeah. So for me, Bali was just magical because I got to see and do so many things, but also that is the first place that I know without a doubt I manifested something. And it wasn't for me. I'm actually at one of my best friend's houses right now, Jen, who got me interested in astrology that ended up leading me there. And while I was there, I made an intention bead with clay that Sandy had. She let us make a bead for someone else. And so I made a bead for Jen that she found a heart of gold that mirrored her own. I made her a mala out of that bead. When I came back to Hawaii, I ended up not even realizing it. 6 months, 8 months later, I set her up with this fella and they ended up getting married and they have a little baby, Ruby.
Yeah.
And Ruby's a Sagittarius. And so I always tease Jen and Mark and I'm like, you had my child.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Yeah.
So, but that's the very first time I ever remember making a solid intention with a talisman for someone else. And then to have that come true all that time is amazing. So this last time when I went back, sat underneath the temple and I gave thanks that had manifested. So every time I go there is magical. And I totally intended on going to Bali and having one type of experience. But as soon as I stepped foot in Ubud, I wasn't there 12 hours and magic started happening.
That is so right. You nailed it on the head. Bali equals magic for Anna. So thank you everybody for listening. Anna, thank you so much for coming in and sharing all of these wonderful stories. And so everybody, thank you again for listening to this episode. We will see you next week. Bye-bye.
I say go do you. Now travel far, share your stories and earn your scars. It's you. Say you are the one you will answer to when this life is done. Don't waste a minute, jump in the river, wash yourself clean so you can deliver you. The story of you, the story of you.